Do a workout. I'm gonna do some pull-ups again. Let me grab my pull-up bar. Yep, so we're gonna make some pull-ups into this workout. Fitness kickboxing plus pull-ups, right? Don't forget to check out on the video section, you have the on the video section, you have the follow along fitness kickboxing workouts. Don't forget to check those out, all right? Not to mention, I'll probably be making some new ones soon that have more strength training involved. I'm wrapping my hands in a different way, so bear with me. I found a new way that I like to wrap it when I'm deciding not to wear gloves on the bag, so bear with me. It may look like I'm overdoing it on my fingers, but there's a reason I'm doing this. Funky right there. Oh, okay. I don't know how to fix that next time. Yeah, the hand wrap's a little funky today, but like I said, I'm trying a new way of wrapping that helps me when I am not wearing gloves or anything on this bag. I think I see one spot where I messed up though. I'll do that better with the next hand. But yeah, because sometimes when I'm punching this bag, especially if I throw hook punches, I'm not wearing any gloves or anything, even though, yeah, I'm trying to land with the knuckles just like how you're supposed to, and I do, but still sometimes this end part sometimes touches and I'll get a little scrape. And so I'm going up farther on my fingers than typically you would, just to protect my fingers from getting scraped. So let me get the other one. I'm going to improve this hand wrapping soon. When I look at this side, it looks a little funky. That's not how it's supposed to look, but it's okay. It's still going to do the trick for what I'm trying to do. So, yeah, I'm going to hit the bag and do some pull-ups today. I'm going to do both of those. So, all right. You ever notice how different it feels wrapping the other hand if you're not used to doing it a lot, because just because you're using a different hand to do the work. Makes it feel a little different. The motor skills are different in each side of your hand, you know? Oh, okay. Yeah, see, this side's actually looking a lot better because I saw where I messed up on the other hand, and so I'm like, oh, I can fix that. It might still look funny when I'm done, but a little bit better than I did on the first side, I think. Except the way I'm doing this, I feel like I need longer wrap, you know? My wrap's a little short for the way I'm doing this. But it's all right. It still does the trick because, like I said, the main reason I'm doing it like this anyway is so that I don't scrape those end knuckles hitting the bag, right? Because sometimes Like I said, especially on a hook, those knuckles still touch. You know, the knuckles that you're not supposed to hit with, they still end up touching. And I don't want to scrape them when I hit in the bag. And this protects that. So look how funky this hand wrap is. This one's a little bit better, right? Because the palm's more open at the end, like it's supposed to be. This one, not so much, all right? But it's still gonna do the trick for what I'm trying to do, folks. All right, so hey, how's it going, everybody? Hit subscribe if you're new. We're gonna get this workout going. Gotta get a little bit of a warm up in. I'm a little thirsty, 1 second. I know I hadn't done much, but I'm just thirsty. Sometimes you're just thirsty. All right, let's get warming up. All right, let's start off just twisting. Twist all the way, right? And this actually, for some people, this right here can be a drill to try to teach you to turn your hips all the way over and turn your shoulders all the way over if you're throwing the punches, right? Just a drill to get you used to moving all the way. You can start with your arms straight, right? Plus also just twisting is a good warm up for your core. Now I have to add some punches, right? It's just a drill. It's just a warm up. Hook, 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 hook. More than one kind of hook. You got thumb down and thumb up. 2 different types of hooks. Which one works for you? Which one do you like? All right. A little bit of high knees here. Run in place. Oh, one more thing I forgot about. My fitness watch. I want it to try to track my calorie burn for me. Run in place a little. Got to get that heart rate up. Got to get going. 11:17. 11:17 in the morning. That clock says 11:19. Got started a little bit later than I like to. I like to start about an hour ago. But that's okay, as long as you're doing it. As long as you don't skip, right? I'm going to be doing a lot of these live videos. They seem to be doing pretty well. I'll still pump out some follow along workout videos as well. I'll throw at least one a month in, but I might start doing more than that. But at the moment, I'm going to focus on these lives for a second. Because a lot more people are watching the live than my follow along video. I wish more people would jump on the follow along workouts because they're really good. Still just warming up, guys. Starting off slow, you know. All right, let's do some swing kicks. Loosen up the hamstrings. Hop switch, other side. Ballistic stretching. About the fastest way to loosen up your hamstrings right here. Just some ballistic stretching, swing kicks. Never force it. Be gentle with it. It loosens up. And then you're throwing that high kick and you're ready to go. Maybe a hack squat stretch is good as well, right? Just make sure you hit all the angles. Get you ready for kicks. I see there's more chats on here. How y'all doing? You doing all right? How are you? Well, in my video section, I make follow along fitness kickboxing workouts that you can do at home. Got a Taekwondo background, and I've been adjusting it, trying to improve my hands and stuff, because anybody with a taekwondo background has to improve their hands at some point or another, in my opinion. So we're going to be doing kicking, punching, knees, elbows. I'm going to be doing stuff on the pull-up bar as well. All right, I'm going to try to get it going. I do highly recommend everybody, if you train at home in any kind of capacity, if you film yourself, you can go back and watch it later and see your mistakes, and you'll know what to work on. So that's helped me a lot, actually, since I started this channel, and I've been able to see my mistakes. That's helped me a lot. I do way less of this stuff, you know, and sometimes I still have to think about it, but I do more keeping my hands up like you're supposed to, right? But when it used to, every time I punched, I used to bring my hand down. Like I would telegraph this punch like crazy, because it would be like, whoo, whoo. But now I feel like I've gotten a lot better about just firing it from where it's at. And you guys like the overhand punch? I like, because I'm slipping out of the way when I do it. So I feel like I'm expecting them to throw a punch at me, and I'm dodging their punch while throwing mine back. That's what I like about the overhand. I mean, you don't really have to do it that way, right? But I feel like that's why I like it, though. That's because I feel like it's the slip is a good setup for the overhand. So I feel like I'm dodging a punch and throwing the overhand. All right, I'm gonna get my calorie burn up a little bit. I'm gonna get my heart rate up, so. Roll his back a little. Don't forget to breathe. I was holding my breath there a little. Should never hold your breath when you're striking. You want to breathe out with every strike. There on the end, I could tell I was holding my breath. Don't want to do that. Roll this away. There's a window back there. Jump knee tucks. All right. That little run was to raise my heart level. I'm gonna try to get a good calorie burn in today. Improve my cardiovascular a little. Everybody doing all right in there? Hey, if you're new, hit subscribe for me, please. I'm trying to grow. Well, I said I was gonna use the pull-up bar. I guess I will. I'm trying something new right now with a pull-up bar though. I'm not maxing out on my reps. I'm just doing enough where it's still kind of easy to do and stopping and then going back and doing more. I'm trying to make it where by the end of the workout, I have still done a decently high number, but each time I've done it, I'm not getting anywhere near failure. It's just something I'm trying out because I was watching somebody talk about some study that showed that actually does work because your muscles recover easier if you don't go to failure. And I think going to failure is the way to really do it if you're trying to gain strength and size as quick as possible. But listen to that though, I thought, well, I think that might be a good way for me to increase my max number of pull-ups I can do is to do it the easy way first. And then in a few weeks, go and see how many pull-ups I can bust out in a row. But for now, I'm just gonna do a small number and then repeat over and over again. But last time I was literally doing 2 pull-ups and then go back and hit the bag, then 2 pull-ups, hit the bag. I'll do a few more than that. Do at least 4, if not 5. To see how it feels, really. That's what I know is how do I feel doing pull-ups. Oh, and dead hangs. I like dead hangs. You guys do dead hangs? You just hang off the pull-up bar, relax, and let it pull everything. Let it pull your shoulders. It's good for me because I have an issue with the shoulder. And dead hangs actually helped it a lot. Now I just need to be doing more external rotations to try to finish fixing my shoulder. External rotation is probably what I need the most. But dead hangs really helps a lot and added some extra range of motion back to my shoulder that I lost. So I do recommend it if you got any issues, do a dead hang. You try to relax everything but your grip that holds you there for a dead hang. All right, just a handful of pull-ups. I'm gonna leave it there. Leave it at 4. Not gonna do many. You know what's something I wanna do? Well, let me check the chat real quick before I move back to the bag. Hey there, you doing all right? All right, something I wanna do. I got a new weight vest, so I might as well use it. Now, in all honesty, I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to use this doing a workout like this because in my experience, when I had these in the past, I couldn't go running in them because then bouncing them down, they'd shape the skin on your shoulders. But I figured, you know, I'll try it for at least a few minutes, see what it feels like with an extra 20 pounds on me. Whew. I can definitely tell I'm carrying around extra weight when I go to turn my body. I can feel it swing. It may not be safe. It might not be safe to wear a weight vest doing this. I don't know. Whew. Wear it and do some body weight squats. Not a bad idea. Yeah, I'm not gonna keep the weight vest on. I'll just use this for what I bought it for. I bought this to wear when I'm walking, not when I'm doing hard exercise. Weight vest is good for walking. I don't personally like it for running or things like that because it can chafe. But weight vest is great if you're just gonna walk. How about some fun ones? Trail kicks. I don't want to do too many of those. It can get you dizzy. Do one more. Ha! Stop! 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 So, your push kick, bring your knee as high into your chest as you can, right? And then push out with your heel. Boom! Boom! There's something good about these too, is in the name, push kick, is that whether or not your kick ends up doing damage, it does push them away from you. So, even though a lot of people say, you know, in a self-defense situation, don't kick above the legs, well, maybe. But also, if somebody's trying to mess with you somewhere, if somebody's trying to attack you, and you landed a push kick and threw them off their feet, that most of them would get up and run away. Just saying. I know that a lot of people say only throw leg kicks because of the risk of getting caught. But I say that's up to you. How confident are you? And do you know what to do if your foot gets caught on a kick? So, of course, with me, my foot got caught with this kick. Well, I'd kick him with the other leg. That's just me. You know, unless of course they're smart and know what they're doing and immediately take you down. Most people don't know what they're doing. A front kick, unlike a push kick, comes up and snaps out and you hit with the ball of your foot. Usually in my workout videos, I tell people just throw push kicks because if you snap and mess up, you can kick your toe. And so I'm like, I'd rather y'all do push kicks so I know you ain't gonna hit your toe. I've even gotten where on the bag, my front kick at the end kind of turns into more of a push kick because it does help me to aim with the ball of my foot. If instead of snapping, I push at the end. See what I'm saying? Not to mention, you see the hip kind of go into it, like that. Gives it some piercing power. Then you got your question mark kick, right? You're gonna fake that front kick and come around to the side. Some people actually go all the way down. I usually just come up to the side, but can I top off the question mark? Let's see. The way I normally do it is like this. Let me see if I can top off the top of it. Yeah, I guess so. To make it work, you want to make sure you've landed a front kick on this person at some point or another so that he thinks that front kick is coming. Otherwise, you're just throwing a random kick. Let's do a few more. I actually might not do as many of these as I planned on today because I didn't want to go super long today because I started later than I normally do. Make sure you hit subscribe to catch me tomorrow. I'll probably do it for a longer time period tomorrow than what I'm doing today. Let me check the chat again. I haven't looked in a second. Hey folks, hit subscribe. Don't forget. Don't forget to hit subscribe for me. I could really use the extra support. Ha! I don't know about you guys, but on my jab cross, I love adding the jab again at the end. I like the jab cross jab because to me it feels like it's finishing it off after your combo, because I don't know about y'all, but for me it doesn't take any real energy to throw an extra jab out there. So, and you can do it with your footwork, right? Or yeah, maybe at the end you do a round step and jab because maybe they're trying to counter back, right? They say the best block is don't be there. But what if you're not there and you're also landing something, even if it's just a jab? Oh, long time. Let's see. The first time I started doing any kind of training was about 30 years ago. Yeah, so I guess you could say a long time. I did have big gaps to where I wasn't doing as much, but yeah, 30 years. But you know, the majority of that was straight up Taekwondo. So when I started this channel, I looked at the videos and like, whoa, I gotta improve my hands. Because my hands, if you went back and watched the oldest videos on this channel, my hands were doing stuff like this. You know, I was doing a lot of this kind of stuff. You know, and even if my hands were up, a lot of times when I went to throw my right cross, it would go whoop, it would go boom, boom. It would drop and throw from here instead of throwing from here. So I really had to work on my hands. You can see some of that if you watch the earliest videos on this channel. And because I recorded myself and I could go back and watch and see my mistakes, I could work on those mistakes. And I'm still working to fix stuff. One of the things that I did that helped me a lot to keep my hands up was to know that my hands are up. With the tips of my fingertips, I will touch right above my eyebrows so that I know my hands are up. And I'm touching up there. So I know my hands are way up because, you know, I had them down here, so I wanted to break that habit. So I get way up, right? So I just barely touch and I don't always touch, but sometimes I'll touch to remind myself to know, okay, my hands are there and that's where my hands are supposed to be, is way up high, right? Matter of fact, even the slips and the rolls, I taught myself the slips and the rolls because they don't teach you that in Taekwondo. But the slips, I taught myself. Now, I don't know, maybe some Taekwondo places do, but my old Taekwondo place, it was an old school Taekwondo too. It wasn't like the stuff you see today. They didn't really teach head movement, even though some of the instructors had head movement. You know, the main instructor, he was hard to hit because he had head movement. But for some reason, that wasn't in the classes, right? But, so I taught myself to slip. Here's one way people tell you how to learn how to slip. Bend down, touch that knee, bend down, touch that knee, and then eventually get rid of the knee touches and just go. And then eventually you want to get to where you're just barely moving it, because you only need to move your head 6 inches. You only have to move this much for it to miss you. Or really you only have to move this much, the size of a glove, the size of their fist. That's all you got to move. So you don't got to make a big drastic movement to slip. I mean, you can, but you don't have to. This is enough. Just barely getting out of the way. And then for a roll, you just make a U. You draw a U with your head. So, but yeah, I had to teach myself that. I did it just by watching boxing videos. I'll be honest with you. That's how I taught myself how to slip and roll. If you guys want to get in shape, you should try the follow along workouts on my channel in the video section. So free fitness kickboxing you can do at home. If you don't have a bag, just do it in the air, right? Having a bag's great, but if you don't have a bag and you still want to do the workouts, you can. You just turn it into more of a shadow boxing. Jab, cross, hook, round kick. You can still do it without the bag. I think having the bag makes it more fun, you know, and maybe a little bit more real because you're actually hitting something. But you can still do it without. I'm not self-taught, but like I said, I did teach myself the slips and the rolls, right? So most of my training came from back in my Taekwondo school back in the day, but it's been a long time since I went to Taekwondo. So I do have a gym I go to now, but all I'm doing there is their fitness kickboxing classes. Even though, and they're usually taught by a Muay Thai guy, and so I feel like for people that do Muay Thai, I don't know, a lot of times it's, you know, it's women too. So, but it's usually the people in their Muay Thai classes and stuff that train the fitness kickboxing. And I have adjusted a little bit because of working out with those guys. And then also that same gym has all sorts of cool stuff there though. They have jiu-jitsu, judo, MMA, boxing. They got it all. So it's a pretty cool place. But I just go in there to get a good workout. And so I just go in there and do the fitness kickboxing and hit their big heavy hanging bags that hang down from the ceiling. Which, you know, those big bags, they're kind of hard because they're all that compact sand in it. So it's actually really good for shin conditioning. Like if you go to a place like that for the first time, if you hit the bag with full power, it might hurt a little bit. But once you've been going for a few weeks, you don't notice it anymore. And you can just start blasting it and you don't worry about it. Now this bag right here, this is soft. This doesn't do good for shin conditioning. I'm thinking about getting a heavy bag for my house so even when I'm working out here, I can keep conditioning my shin. Because I got to go up there and condition my shins because they got the big heavy hanging bags. But I do have a hook I could use. It's a hook for my suspension trainer. I've been worried about whether or not it's strong enough to hold a big heavy bag. So, but I mean, I guess it's strong enough to hold me for all sorts of workouts because it's for a suspension trainer. You know, like the TRX, mine's the RIP 60. I don't know if any of y'all ever heard of that. I think when RIP 60 was first starting to get big, they got sued and then disappeared. Ha! Ha! Yeah, they were trying to compare themselves to another workout program, and that workout company sued them for it because their infomercial said, you get better results with this than you do with these two great selling workout programs. Like, hey, you can't say this about that. We're going to sue you. And that's what happened. So they got sued by Beachbody. But I still got my RIP 60 straps. Every now and then I'll hang it up and do RIP 60. I try to keep coming and checking the chat. Oh yeah, and this bag, you don't actually have to wear gloves with this bag, right? I do wrap my hands, but a lot of that's because I don't want to scrape up my skin when I'm hitting the bag. Otherwise, I might be completely barehanded. Oh, and also, if I do hit it barehanded, when I get all sweaty, I feel like I hit it and it's like ice. I can't plant as good. I'll slide off of it when I'm sweaty. And so this helps with that too. You know, I'm not thinking about what I'm going to throw. I'm just throwing whatever feels right. Sometimes I end up doing weird stuff when I do that, but I do some cool stuff too, because I just do what feels right. Now in my follow along workouts in my video section, that's different. That's a little more planned out. That's what you'd expect from a high quality follow along workout program, where I'll give you a combo move. I'll say 1, 2, 3, kick, ready, go. And then we'll do a bunch of those. Ha! 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 All right, so I was gonna do some pull-ups, but considering how long I've been in here, I'm not gonna do the amount that I was wanting to do, but I'll do at least one more light set. I'll do some more tomorrow. No, actually, it's reversed. Look, because the camera, it's looking at me so that, well, I mean, the screen is showing me so I can make sure that I'm in the frame. And when I do that, it reverses me. This is my right hand, this is my left. It looks reversed for you guys. So, like if you notice, you probably can't see it, but up on the board, it says subscribe over there, but it looks like it's written backwards. At one time I had it written backwards, but I did it right because for a while I was mostly recording just the pre-recorded workout videos, and my screen is not mirrored in those. I'm not sure how to make the screen not be mirrored in this. Somebody told me, oh, click this button. I did it. It didn't do anything. So I don't know. See if I can burn it out a little bit. I'm just throwing right now. I want to add to the calorie burn of this workout. I think I'm gonna wrap it a little thicker right there next time. Like I was saying earlier, I think I need a longer wrap for what I was trying to do. I like these bags. The big Wavemaster, they're great. The Wavemaster XL, because you know, it's about as tall as I am, you know? The big heavy hanging bags I really like because they'll condition your shins because they're filled with sand. This I like because it's easy to move around. You just tilt it and roll it. And if you're ever going to move anywhere, if you filled it with water, you can dump the water out. I wouldn't fill it with sand unless you think you're never going to move it. But if you fill it with sand, it will move around a little bit less on you because it'll be really heavy. Back in the day, my taekwondo instructor, his Wavemaster was filled with sand. But he didn't have one like this because these didn't exist yet. Okay, this is way back in the day. All we had were the old school Wavemasters. Wavemaster and Powerline, all made by Century. And you had to adjust it. If you wanted to kick head level, you had to adjust it on the thing and raise it up so the bag was higher. That's why I like this so much, is because I don't have to adjust. It's already at every level. And back in the days when I was actually in a taekwondo place, you had to use that adjustable bag because these did not exist. So if that gives you any idea about how long ago it was when I trained. Taekwondo was different back then, I think. It seems like it anyway. Now it seems like almost all you see is that point tip tap stuff, you know? So, which I mean, we had point sparring too in tournaments and stuff, but I wasn't interested in that. So I usually didn't do the tournaments because I always thought point sparring was dumb. I like just regular sparring, which is typically, that's what we do. We just do regular sparring. We would just spar. We would just go. It was like 2 or 3 minutes, go. switch partners, go, switch partners, go. And you can do whatever, you can experiment. And I mean, and that's the only place I feel like you really learned any good hands in Taekwondo is just when you were sparring and learning by experience from punching and being punched at, right? Because what do you learn with hands in Taekwondo usually? The first day they do this, which is teaching you bad habits right away, right? And then you got it in katas and stuff, you know, where you block and punch in this direction and that direction. And it's fairly almost useless for one-on-one combat, you know. I say for one-on-one because I think the kata actually, I don't think it was ever made for a one-on-one kind of thing. Also, some of the moves are mistranslated. Like some of those moves we don't actually know what they were really for anymore. Like some of them are actually grappling moves apparently. I think what the patterns actually do teach you is really for if you were in a big brawl setting and there's a bunch of people all around you, is to go block and strike in this direction, block and strike in a different direction. That's for like a big brawl setting. That's not for a one-on-one kind of thing. So I don't know, that's different. It's part of why way back in the day, a bunch of karate guys bought my Taekwondo school and they said they'd be willing to give me my 4th degree in karate because I had a 3rd degree in Taekwondo at the time. So they'd be willing to give me a 4th degree in karate, but I had to go learn all their kata. And at that point I was like, yeah, I'm not interested in learning a bunch of new kata. It felt too useless to me at the time. I was like, to me it felt kind of useless. At the time, the only thing I could think of that kata was good for is if I wanted to exercise and didn't know what to do, I'd just do all the kata I had memorized and I get a good workout. I get good exercise by doing that. Ha! Ha! And I don't know, there may be some good uses for kata, I'm not sure. Can we check on you guys, see what's going on over here? Hit subscribe if you're new, all right? Yeah, I would have to agree. I think Muay Thai is better than kickboxing because Muay Thai has knees, elbows, and I don't know if kickboxing has the clinch or not, I'm not sure. But Muay Thai also has knees and elbows. When kickboxing, it's just punches and kicks. They don't have the knees and elbows. So for that reason alone, I would say, yeah, Muay Thai is better. You know, I would definitely say that. If somebody was telling me, man, I really want to learn how to fight with my hands and my feet, what should I go train in? I would tell them, go do Muay Thai. That's straight up what I would tell them. Say Muay Thai. That would be my first go-to, Muay Thai, you know? Even though I do think you get some great benefits from some of the traditional martial arts, so I believe in cross training because of that. Because you don't see a lot of Muay Thai guys throwing side kicks. It does happen, but you don't really see a whole lot of it. It's mostly just round kicks. It's one kick, you know. But I mean, they get really good at that one kick, and you don't want to get touched by it because they've thrown that one single kick so many times, right? The man that threw one kick 10,000 times, right? Because it's round kicks over and over again. So you definitely don't want to get kicked by a Muay Thai round kick. You do not. They have thrown it so many times, they can hit it with so much power. You don't want to get kicked by one of those guys. But I think it's great to cross train so you have more weapons in your arsenal. Throw out those side kicks also, you know. Of course, they also have the teep kick, right? The Muay Thai has the teep kick as well. So a teep kick, round kick, and they may have other kicks as well. You just don't normally see them throw them. I normally just see them throw those 2 kicks and that's it. But then of course they got the knees and elbows. Boom, 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 boom. I'm kind of going gentle with my elbow. I scraped it up on the bag the other day. It doesn't matter if the bag's soft. You can still get bag burn by going across. So if you drag, you get bag burn. I got a little scrape there. So that's why when I do use the bag, I try to go in because I don't want to get that bag burn, you know. I think boxing is good too, you know. So I even think you know, it might be a good idea if I went and did a little bit of boxing, if I went and did like 90 days of it or something, I think it would improve my game a lot. So boxing is the ultimate just hands, right? And then I think Muay Thai is the opposite. I mean, is the ultimate every limb kind of striking, you know? So, but once again, I think it's best to cross train, in all honesty. You should learn some grappling, some jiu-jitsu or some judo. And if you're just striking, I think you should cross train Muay Thai, boxing, and some kind of traditional martial art like karate or taekwondo, just to give you some extra things you can do with your feet that you wouldn't have gotten from Muay Thai. But I don't necessarily mean train in all of them the same amount. You know, you pick one as your main one. I would recommend to most people they're asking, make Muay Thai your main one, and then just supplement with the other ones. Learn just a little bit extra. Learn a little bit of the other ones. But yeah, if you're just learning how to defend yourself, probably the fastest way to learn to defend yourself is to just take two things. Take boxing and jiu-jitsu and do just those at first. If your main goal was to defend yourself, I would say learn boxing and jiu-jitsu first. And then after that, you can build upon it and start learning other stuff. You know, that's my personal opinion, you know. Because for one, if somebody tries to fist fight a boxer, it ain't gonna go well. It's really not, you know. If you try to take a swing at a boxer, they're just gonna move their head out of the way and come back and pop, pop, pop. You know, so it's not somebody to be trifled with. All right, so kickboxers don't do too much clinch work. Boxing and kickboxing make you a good striker. Yeah, I have to agree. Because yeah, Muay Thai does the clinch, and that's what I was saying before. Is I'm not sure if kickboxing has it or not. He said kickboxing does not really do much clinch. So yeah, Muay Thai has knees, elbows, and clinch, which kickboxing doesn't have, right? So. What time is it? I do have things I got to do today, so I keep checking the time. You know what I'm saying? Hey guys, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. I do have some things I got to do today, so I got to get rolling. But please do help me out and hit subscribe. I am trying to grow this channel, all right? I'm going to put my pull-up bar up. Yeah, that's it for today. I'm going to put this stuff away now. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow, probably a little bit earlier, and so I'll be able to do it a little bit longer. I usually start this about an hour earlier than I did today. So, but it is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off on my watch. Did not burn as many calories as I wanted to today. I was talking too much, and I felt like I had a kind of a slow start getting going, you know, trying to get warmed up. Felt a little slower today than what I normally feel. So now the other day, the last week, and I came in here blasting it for 3 days in a row. And it's also when I decided, yeah, I need to start doing the live workouts again and go in here and just go live and start smashing the bag. And I decided, well, I'm going to start throwing in the pull-ups also, just the small amounts of them here and there, because I've been wanting to improve my pull-ups, so might as well mix it in with my exercise I'm doing on the bag. And to me, this is just a really fun way to exercise too, because I can exercise and work on my martial art technique at the same time. So I would have gotten way too rusty if I didn't keep working out at home with my martial arts, you know, so you got to keep it sharp or you lose it. So I don't know if you ever lose it completely, because once you got it embedded, programmed in you, you've done it so many times, it's just there, but you want to keep it where you can do it well. So you got to keep practicing, keep doing the moves. You don't ever quit, you know what I'm saying? So, and I would really encourage you, any of you guys, you want some good exercise, to go check out my video section and do some of the follow along fitness kickboxing workouts. You know, they're designed for a big calorie burn. I'm trying to see where the best place to stand is for the lighting. I need to do something different with the lighting. Having this big light up here is not good for the lighting at all. So I need to find a different way. I almost wonder if I should just turn that off and get a different light that shines in this direction. It might work better. You know, that might be the way to do it. So I may play with that and figure it out, you know. because that's one of the main things I got left to improve on this channel is fixing the lighting. So, what brand mats? I don't. I'm not sure what brand they are. But, they're the jigsaw that fits together. You know what I'm talking about. These ones, I found these ones on Amazon and just ordered them because I wanted blue ones. All right, because I had black ones before. I still got some of my old black ones here for the trim because after I ordered them, I realized I ordered just barely not enough. So I said, well, okay, I'll use this slight trim from the old one, which I kind of like the way it looks because it starts off, there's a row of black and then it goes into the blue mats. And I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. This looks good. But yeah, I like the blue color. And then also because locally all I could find was black mats, but I wanted blue. And then I also ordered a roll of mat tape, which I taped to the bottom of some of the mats to where I would tape 4 of them together at a time, because I noticed when I'm in here doing my workouts, jumping around back and forth, doing all my stuff, sometimes they try to start to pull apart. And so I put that tape on there to try to make sure they don't, So, and I wouldn't have thought they'd pull apart because they're wall to wall in every direction except for that way, right? But even here, there's a little lip that it hits. But still, they try to separate some. So I tape them down from the bottom so that there's less of that. So, all right, guys. Somebody else asking me a question here. UFC is MMA. Oh, I think I might have just searched exercise mats, if I remember right. Yeah, but yeah, what I was saying earlier is I think that if you were just trying to learn self-defense, I think like boxing and some kind of wrestling together is probably the fastest way to get to where you can defend yourself. Not that it's your complete thing, because I think Muay Thai is better, but I think if you just wanted to learn quickly how to defend yourself, just my thought, if you're trying to learn as fast as possible, you could start there and then switch over and change to something else. So, and lack of kicking experience, somebody said, will that make it difficult? Well, you always have a lack of kicking experience if you haven't thrown kicks yet. So it would just be the same as anybody else who's just starting off. Well, all right, guys, I got stuff to do, man. I got to go. All right. Hit subscribe for me. I should be back in here tomorrow. Okay. So probably quite a bit earlier. All right. Yeah, maybe puzzle mat. Might have been that. Just start typing it in, playing with it. You'll find them. So, all right, guys, keep kicking it. All right.